It's almost time for Full Gear, but first, I'm John Recton with my review of AEW Collision and AEW Rampage from the Kia Forum, the site of AEW Full Gear in less than 24 hours, and the question on everybody's mind is how would the All Elite Wrestling roster utilize three hours of live programming on TNT, not on Saturday, but Friday nights are all right for fighting because they just said, we're going to take Collision, we're going to take Rampage, we're going to human centipede them together. That's what I'm doing in this video for you guys, because I want to talk about a few particular things, and I already did a predictions video for AEW Full Gear. You can check that out. I felt there wasn't any need to wait until after these shows happened, because I figured they'd add a couple things at a 0 hour, and it's obvious who they would make MJF's partner for the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championship match on the 0 hour. Duh, it was Samoa Joe. No big goddamn shock there. There are a couple things I do want to talk about, though, before I dive into the quick coverage of these particular shows. And that is, this may be the last Collision review you get for the year. So, usually, I work pretty long hours on Saturday. And next week, because I cover AEW and WWE programming, especially the big events, I am going to be watching Survivor Series. And I may just not bother with Collision. And during December, I'm going to be totally easing back. I might review Dynamite until winter is coming and then just ease back and just do my end-of-year videos and some movie reviews and stuff like that. So if you don't see any more Collision reviews until January, then that's your warning right there. So, how were these shows? I mean, if you're going to buy Full Gear, these shows didn't convince you, to not buy it. And if you were on the fence about it, these shows didn't really convince you to actually go all in, ironically. But all in is actually in August. So, that being said, there was like 5,000 people in the Kia Forum, and I didn't expect them to, sell the place out. They are doing better as far as attendance for Full Gear, but Jesus, that's a big-ass building. That's an expensive building to run. Anyway, so Kevin Kelly, Nigel McGuinness, and Tony Schiavone were on commentary. But first, Tony Schiavone was in a very green suit to introduce Christian Cage, Nick Wayne, and Luchasaurus. And Christian knocks the crowd in the forum, however meager it was, says he's going to retire Sting early. Flair will be at the pay-per-view, oh joy, with his Woo energy drink. And that Copeland tried to steal Christian Cage's spotlight, so he's going to snap his neck. And there's going to be a 4-way, and the winner will face Christian Cage on Rampage. Oh joy, I wonder who's involved in that. And I saw who was involved in that, and my interest dropped dramatically. So, fine, opener for what it was. And also, this show went head-to-head with SmackDown. And I didn't watch anything on SmackDown. I guess sent a couple clips. And for those that actually watch both, Road Dogg was on commentary, and I'm just like, yeah, I'm glad I'm not watching this goddamn shit, because fuck Road Dogg. Bullet Bob would have done us all a favor if he had pulled out that night. Nevertheless, so Lexi is with Starks and Bog Bill, because the shoe print can't unsee it. So, the 4-way tag team title match is now going to be a ladder match. Oh, there's going to be multiple injuries in that whole goddamn thing. Ladder match, last minute. Okay. So then Miro faced off against Daniel Garcia, and this is all because Daniel danced in front of CJ. 12 minutes into the show, the bell rang. Miro glommed him. Daniel fired back. Daniel's not bad in the ring, but he got mauled during the break. He targeted the leg, and then he hit 3 dropkick variations. He was trying to go for the victory, but then he tried to do the dance with no pants. Except he's always wearing pants. And one of the 2.0 guys, Magic, I think, says, no, don't do that. And then Game Over won it, so Miro beat Daniel Garcia to the shock of absolutely nobody. Then Lexi is with CJ and Andrade El Olio, and Continental Classic was mentioned. CJ seemed to struggle with that, but that being said, she negotiated a big bonus if Andrade El Olio wins. All right. I don't see this working at all. I mean, Andrade needs somebody to talk for him. He also needs somebody that can actually talk. Kings of the Black Throne, Malachi Black, and Brody King mauled the boys and won quickly. Very quickly. Julia Hart, Sky Blue, and Chris Statlander cut short pre-tapes. Brian Cage with Prince Nana, who swerves when he drives, and the Kia is alive because he swerves when he drives. So, yeah, it was Brian Cage against Trent, Commander, and Penta with Alex, and it was a four-way. The winner would face Christian Cage on Rampage. Tony Khan loves his four-ways. That much I noted on this. And Brian Cage, we've seen everything that he can do and then some, and it was just a mess. And Trent won with the strong zero. I mean, I don't fault the efforts of these guys. They took some hard bumps, but it was also on a show that honestly it just kind of all blended together. That's what Collision basically has become. Like, Collision has some good moments. One of my favorite matches of the year actually took place on Collision in the first month of it, but nevertheless. So we get recaps of Hobbs crippling, destroying Paul White. And then we cut backstage to Callis being near Lexi. Lexi run away from him. Hobbs tells Paul White to stay away. And then Wardlow beat a guy named Evan Daniels really quickly by hitting a swanton. And Tony Khan said, I don't think I've seen Wardlow connect with a swanton. Tony Schiavone has been in the company since the beginning. Wardlow had his first match in February of 2020. And I'm pretty certain Tony Schiavone has called multiple shows where Wardlow has had a match. Pretty certain he's seen him connect at least once. Oh, Tony Schiavone's all right. He seemed a little bit off. Anyway, one powerbomb, it's over. Full Gear rundown. The tag champs show up for commentary, mainly Ricky Starks, and then Dax the Axe, that's actually what they called him, against Roosh. And now, what we got going on here is just a way to hype up the tag title four-way. Dax was bleeding from the chest because of the hard chops. It was hard hitting, I'll say that much, but it also ended in after Roosh pie-faced Ricky Starks, and then Ricky Starks hit a spear on him, and then Dax got attacked, and it was ruled a no contest, despite the fact that Starks clearly hit Roosh first. And everyone get in here, and then here's a ladder, and everybody's just doing this stuff because we just suddenly decided last minute we're going to have a ladder match. I was actually kind of halfway looking forward to that match because I figured there'd be some good psychology, and there won't be now because of the ladder. Because it's just going to be a spot fest. Which some people might like, but I've seen so many ladder matches. Lexi is with Action Andretti. He's interrupted by Strong and Adam. Actually in the Kingdom, but Action. He's going to face him on Rampage. And then Buddy Matthews took on Wheeler Yuta. Rick Knox is the worst referee going today. This was a match that went on way longer than it should have. And a curb stomp, 1, 2, 3. Claudio then stops Buddy from using a chair and challenges him to a match on the 0 hour. Then Mox and Cassidy cut some promos on pre-tapes. Statlander and Sheeta were in the main event. Ruby was in the main event. Unfortunately, Saraya, Defender of Abuserverse, was also in the main event. Remember when she was over for like 3 weeks and over for like one night at All In? Yeah, Saraya has been one of the worst signings that Tony Khan has made. The commentary keeps mentioning who is Ruby's suitor. And it's Cool Hand Luke or whatever. I don't fucking care. Luke just, he's watching Ruby. He's wearing her shirt and everything. And then Sheeta and Statlander are having to carry this slinky neck slug of, like Saraya, because she can't do anything. Luke checks on Ruby. Saraya gets pinned. Okay, at least there was something right there. Then we cut to Shivani and MJF, and the championship doesn't make the man makes the championship. He's all fired up. If he retains a Full Gear, he will make it 1 year as champion. And then he's going to prove himself, and now that was it for Collision. That was literally it for Collision. There really wasn't that much going on here. But we will get to Rampage. Don't pull up no chairs. I think it'll take very long. Immediately after Collision. So Jericho joins commentary. Judas plays for a while. Christian Cage took on Trent, and look, there are people that like Trent. I've seen his likes on Twitter, and the guy is a freaking crackpot, so he doesn't deserve anything nice. For the TNT Championship, 5 minutes into an hour-long show, we start this, and does anybody really want to see Trent in a championship match in 2023? In 2023 or 2024, do you? If you do, that's fine. Trent hits the post and hits the steps like a goddamn idiot. Sure, drop Christian on his goddamn head. It's fine. Tornado DDT for 2. Strong 0 for 2. And then Christian eventually gets a neck stomp. Buckle shot. Kill switch engage. 1, 2, 3. Retains the championship. Jericho plugs a tag match that him and Omega are going to have against the Bucks. Timeless Tony Storm took on Emi Sakura. Emi apparently trained Shida. Shida apparently just at least learned how to have personality. There are people that like Emi. That's fine. I don't. I don't hate her. I don't wish for anything bad to happen to her, but I don't care to watch her. Tony Storm was having a goddamn blast, was clearly over. Ready for my close-up, all this stuff, and she eventually wins with the Storm Zero, I believe is what it's called. She does it better. See, she can do Storm Zero while Trent himself is just a zero. And there you are. So she won that match. And then Renee was with Team TNA and Eddie. They made the Ring of Honor World Championship match that Jay got the shot for in a backstage pre-tape while Karen Jarrett is still there. Somebody needs to remind her that she never belonged in wrestling. She's lucky that she ever got on camera. So, who is the big signing? We will find out tomorrow. Roddy Strong took on Action Andretti in a match that was fine. Roddy was pretty over. There were neck strong chants, heavy chops, and eventually he ends her Tardache with, the backbreaker, 1, 2, 3. And then Renee is with Jay White. Jay White says some things, MJF interrupts, beats the shit out of him, and then Juice attacks. Juice shoves him in a room. They lock themselves in a room, and then Juice gets busted open. Juice got juice, as Jericho said. And then they run out into the arena. MJF chases after Jay White. The Guns interfere. And then Samoa Joe runs in. Everybody powders out. And then he offers his hand. Jay White shakes Samoa Joe's hand. Yeah, Jay White shakes Samoa Joe's hand. Yeah, Jay White would be lucky to be in the ring, with somebody as talented as Samoa Joe and not have him eat him for lunch. So anyway, he shakes MJF's hand, and that's it. So Joe's going to be MJF's partner. He has agreed to give him a title shot. I'm saying right now, at the end of the review, if Jay White walks out as world champion tomorrow, you ain't going to see any AEW reviews at all after Full Gear. I nearly fell asleep multiple times watching Jay White's not very good world title run, his main world title run. I don't really count the one where he beat Tanahashi because I didn't go on too long. It was just a way to put the belt back on Okada. There are people that like Jay. That's fine. I don't. So that's your warning right there. Anyway, Full Gear. Hopefully it's going to be pretty good. I think MJF is going to win. I think if he doesn't, then it just nukes everything with Joe and Wardlow. But I put nothing past Tony Khan. Agree, disagree with what I said? Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Retlin. I'll see you soon.